August 1873, the Isle of Wight. A regatta, a ball, and a room full of English names that sound like stone. A 19-year-old American walks in, and the temperature changes. Dark hair, dark eyes. A look one man will later describe as more panther than woman. She speaks like she belongs here. She moves like she doesn't care if she does. 3 days later, a Churchill is engaged, not after a season, not after introductions, after 3 days. And what follows isn't romance, it's negotiation. Her name is Jennie Jerome. You can spend centuries building status and lose it in 1 generation of debt, and you can build a fortune in 1 generation, and still be treated like a vulgar accident. Jennie lands exactly where those 2 humiliations meet. But that's only the official version. A love match, a dazzling American, a lucky marriage. The real question is, was Jennie Jerome a dollar princess, or was she the person who proved these marriages could be used as power? Because 7 months after her wedding, she will give birth to a boy who will one day define Britain's darkest hour. Her father, Leonard Jerome, makes and loses money the way other men change shirts. Wall Street calls him King of Wall Street when he wins, and watches him burn fortunes when he doesn't. He builds a mansion with something no respectable home is supposed to have, a private theater that seats hundreds. He keeps racehorses, mistresses, scandals. And when the scandal becomes too loud, Jennie's mother, Clara, does the only clean thing she can do. She leaves. Paris becomes the family's exile. And Jennie's workshop. She's not simply finished, she's sharpened, not trained to be chosen, trained to choose. Paris gives her languages, music, and the kind of confidence society pretends to admire, and then punishes. By the time she returns to the orbit of British high society, she's not a blank debutante. She's interesting, she's quick, she's dangerous to the rules of the room. And then she meets Lord Randolph Churchill, 24, the younger son of a duke, brilliant, enough to be reckless. They talk, they spark, and before anyone can slow it down, Randolph writes home, he's going to marry her. The family reaction is immediate and predictable. Absolutely not. Not because they doubt his feelings, but because they know what feelings don't pay for. Because the Churchills aren't just snobs, they're a system. Their title is old. Their expectations are older, and like so many aristocratic families in this era, they have a problem they can't publicly name: money. So the romance is not the crisis. The crisis is the contract. What follows is months of transatlantic bargaining, letters, lawyers, counteroffers, each side testing how desperate the other really is. The Churchills want cash without losing dignity. Leonard Jerome wants a title without writing a blank check, and then the settlement lands on a detail that changes the balance of power. A portion of the money will be paid directly to Jennie, not to her husband. It's unusual, it's protective. Because in Britain, a wife can be absorbed by a family like an asset. And if the money goes only to the husband, the bride can end up rich on paper and powerless in life. A settlement is not romance. It's architecture. April 1874, Paris, the British Embassy. A small ceremony that feels too quiet for what it will. Produce. 7 months later, Jennie gives birth at Blenheim Palace. The family calls it premature 2 months early, blaming a fall. And contemporaries naturally notice how healthy the premature baby looks. His name is Winston Leonard Spencer Churchill. And here's the uncomfortable truth. This is where the dollar princess story stops being gossip and becomes history. Because Winston will grow up to define Britain in the 20th century. And the person who will shape him first is his American mother. In Victorian England, a woman of her rank is supposed to be decorative and silent. Jennie is neither. She becomes Randolph's most effective political weapon, hosting, persuading, connecting, pushing him forward. Some accounts credit her with writing, refining, or orchestrating parts of his public life in ways polite biographies understate. And she doesn't just move in society, she penetrates it, close to the Prince of Wales, close enough to start rumors that never quite die. This is the pivot. Jennie is not simply a bride imported to rescue a house. She's a player learning how power actually moves, through rooms, relationships, and reputation. And then the cost arrives. Randolph's health collapses, his behavior turns erratic, his career implodes, and Jennie is left holding the aftermath of a marriage that was never designed to be gentle. 1895. Randolph is dead. Jennie is 41 and refuses the expected script of quiet widowhood. She remarries, scandalously. Then again, she edits a literary review, writes plays, funds wartime medical work. And through it all, she keeps doing the things she learned earliest, building networks that outlast. Men, her sun rises, she opens doors, she pushes, not because she's sentimental, because she understands leverage. Jennie Jerome is remembered as the glamorous American who married into the Churchills. But glamour is just the surface story. Underneath, she proves something colder. And more important, this marriage market could buy titles. But in the right hands, it could also buy access.